Yeah, what we discussed in last class, any of you remember? Last class we completed synchronization, right? So can I hope all you people understood synchronization clearly? Any questions, any doubts? You want me to explain any point again? Did you get clarity on when to develop synchronization? Okay, can you explain what happened when we call synchronized method? And how JVM guarantees synchronization, locking mechanism, and allowing the threads to execute sequentially? Any of you, can you give me an idea? Okay, on synchronization, these are the questions you need to answer. Try to answer. When should we develop synchronization? If multiple threads are accessing same object, we must develop synchronization. Or simple words you can say, when we want to execute multiple threads sequentially, we must execute synchronization. If you want to execute a methodology sequentially by multiple threads, if you want to execute a methodology sequentially by multiple threads, then we should develop synchronization. Okay, na? Okay, why we should develop synchronization? If this methodology is executing by multiple threads to modify object data, then we have to develop synchronization. Otherwise, object data modified in consistent way. Explain different application areas of synchronization. Yeah, best example is a website. A website is accessing by multiple users. The same website must perform the operation for each customer separately. So we have to develop synchronization. Okay. So if two requests are accessing same object, if you don't develop synchronization, we will get wrong results. How can we develop synchronization in Java? We must develop synchronization in Java by using synchronized keyword, either by using synchronized method and synchronized block. Is synchronized keyword applicable either to method or object? Synchronized keyword must be applied to method, not to object. What will happen when we call synchronized method? Tell me, what will happen when we call synchronized method? current object is locked. Okay, current object is locked. Current object is locked, and this method execution will be started. In the middle of execution, if this thread execution is paused, and if another thread accessing same synchronized method or another synchronized method by using same locked object, understand? By using same synchronized method or another synchronized method by using same object, then other thread doesn't have a chance to execute. Did you understand my statement? What will happen when we call synchronized method? Current object of this method is locked. Method execution is started. In the middle of thread execution, if this thread execution is paused, if another thread is trying to access same currently running synchronized method M1 or unsynchronized method M2, by using same object, other thread execution is paused. After first thread execution, after first thread completes the method execution, when control come out of the method, synchronized method, object is unlocked, and the control give to second thread. Then second thread again lock the object and execute it. Next, what is the meaning of object lock? Many people are having confusion here. What the meaning of object is locked? Object is locked means object is locked means what? Is it placed inside one box and the keys and locks there? Come on. What the meaning of object is locked? Like in real life, there is no box placing inside, locking it, keys, nothing is there. Locked means this object is not available for other threads to use for, please fill the gap. This method is not, this object is not available for other threads to use for what? This method is not available for other threads to use for what? For what? This object is not available for other threads to use. To use for what? For executing method logic. Which method logic? For executing which method logic? Synchronized method logic. Okay? Synchronized method logic. Repeating again. Object locked means the object is not available for other threads for executing synchronized method. Then tell me, if object is locked, can this object can be used? Can this object is used for executing a non-synchronized method to other threads? Think. Can we use locked object to execute non-synchronized method? Yes. Non-synchronized method means it is allowed to execute concurrently. They catch my point. Why object lock concept is introduced? To make method execution sequential. What is synchronization? Executing the process of executing a method logic sequentially by multiple threads by using same object. If object changed, tell me, if object is changed, program is synchronization or concurrent? Concurrent. If a different object, concurrent. If method is not synchronized, concurrent. Okay, that object locked or unlocked doesn't matter. Are you catching my point? So what is the meaning of object is locked? Object is not available for other threads for executing same synchronized or other synchronized method. But this locked object can be used for non-synchronized method execution. Okay, now non-synchronized method can be used for execution. Then what the meaning of unlock? Object is unlocked means this object is available for other threads to execute synchronized methods. Okay. Next, when will an object be locked and unlocked? When will an object be locked and unlocked? Object will be locked if you call synchronized method or synchronized statement. Object is unlocked. Object is unlocked after synchronized method, synchronized block execution completed. Okay, now? Next. What we can and cannot do when an object is locked? Can you answer? Just now I have already answered. When an object is locked and unlocked. Come on, come on. ఎందుకు ఆపేశావు? Tell me. What we can and cannot do when an object is locked. When an object is locked, we cannot use it for executing same or other synchronized method from other threads. But we can use a locked object for calling and executing non-synchronized method. Yeah, same question again I repeated because same question different way I have asked, because interview asked in another way, in which way we don't know now. When an object is locked, can we use it for executing non-synchronized method from other threads? Yes. When an object has locked by one thread, can we use this locked object to call some same or other synchronized method from other threads? No. Can we use this locked object to call non-synchronized method from other thread? Yes. Can we use this locked object to call synchronized non-synchronized method from same thread? Yes. You locked your home. Okay, when you lock your home, can you go from one room to another room within the same room? Possible or not? Within the same house, you can go from one house to another house, right? It is possible, no problem, right? So if a thread is lock an object, can we use that locked object for executing same or other synchronized method? Yes, possible, no problem. Okay, no? Next. How JVM can recognize an object is locked or unlocked? You have eyes. You people are having eyes. Using your eyes, you can find this object is locked or unlocked. But how JVM can find? Does JVM has eyes? No, right? JVM doesn't have eyes. Then how JVM can recognize, okay, this object is locked, cannot be used? Okay, but do you understand? How JVM can recognize an object is locked, it cannot be used? Yeah, method has a synchronized keyword. Then this method can execute only if the object is not locked. Na? How JVM knows this object is locked or not locked? Yesterday, add method I called. Add method I have called. When second thread is calling add method, JVM identified this object already locked by second thread, first thread, so you cannot use wait. How JVM knows this object is locked or not locked? Is JVM has eyes? No. Then JVM doesn't have eyes. Then how it can identify? Anyone can tell me? How do your friend know that this room is locked and where the key is available? You and your friend both are staying in a same room. Now people are maintaining only one key to the house. Then you are placing that key in a common access area. Na? Yes or no? If people are placing that key in a common access area, right? If the key, now your friend come to your room and moving his hand that place where key is secretly you are placing. If the key is available there, that means room is locked. If the key is not available there, room is not locked, right? That means when you call synchronized method by using object A1 dot add method when you call, first JVM is checking is this object available in one common place, locked place. Tell me, inside JVM like this locked object, how many objects would be available? ఎన్నుండొచ్చు कितना में कितना ऑब्जेक्ट्स रहेंगे कितना ऑब्जेक्ट्स रहेंगे how many objects would be there 1 or 2 or 3 or many then tell me JVM should store like this many objects without size limitation if you want to store multiple values or multiple objects without size limitation I must use a concept called what collection are you catching my point so there are two objects are there values or objects as a group without size limitation number one array number two collection if you use array if I use array it can number of objects there is a count you will specify size only that size number of objects only it can store if I use a collection it can store without size limitation now in JVM I have to store how many objects limited number of objects no I don't know how many objects then what should I do I must store what collection there are two types of collections are there there are two types of collections are there number one a collection that stores objects with mapping an object that store without mapping now you must store objects with mapping or without mapping come on you must store objects with mapping or without mapping you must store objects here with mapping or without mapping with mapping why this object should is locked by which thread we need to have information is your brain working try to make it work try to make it work if you are using a thread if you are using a if you are using an object which thread lock this object we should have information then only JVM can compare can I use this object or not just now you answered one question can we use this locked object to call synchronized or non-synchronized method by using same thread yes other thread not allowed so this object is locked by which thread information also must be there so observe now the total information when we call deposit of 5000 method account dot deposit of 5000 then JVM going to access this deposit method then first deposit method found it as a synchronized method then JVM first step verifying is this object locked or not how it is going and verifying in a locked objects map inside JVM we will have one map object for storing locked objects information locked objects map will be there now this account 1 and thread 1 reference will be stored okay it is currently empty account 1 object is not available in locked map object account 1 and th1 stored okay because not available locked so tell me if the account object the current object is available in locked objects map then we say object is locked if not available we say object is not locked so when you call deposit method first time now you found object is not available so now it is stored here account 1 thread 1 okay and then now deposit method called deposit method is execution then in somewhere passed when it is passed now other thread is trying to call withdraw method by using same object account 1 then JVM is verifying is this account object available in this locked map object is it available yes then now it is going to pass this thread execution block this thread execution For blocked threads maintaining also one more map object will be used, and there account 1 with thread 2 is waiting, because JVM should know thread 2 is waiting for account 1 object to unlock. Then now deposit method execution completed, and then finally account 1 dot thread 1 removed from this locked map object means the object is unlocked. Then now the second thread will come to the execution by storing account 1 dot thread 2, and then thread 2 execution completed. Okay, so how JVM knows an object is locked or not locked? It implicitly maintain one map object to know this object is locked or not, for which thread it is locked. Okay, now, so if the object is available in the locked map collection, then object is locked. If not available, it is called unlocked. Next, when is a thread called monitor? There is a word called monitor. What is a monitor? When a thread is called monitor, a thread that obtains the lock on an object is called monitor. A thread that obtains the lock on an object is called monitor. Okay. Where and how long this thread can be a monitor. A thread can be a monitor only inside a synchronized method or in a synchronized block. As long as that method execution is completed, as long as that method synchronized block is completed, the thread will be a monitor. Once synchronized method or synchronized block execution completed, then the thread will not be called as monitor. Okay. Next, how many objects can be locked by a thread? Tell me, how many objects can be locked by a thread? How many objects can be locked by a thread? One thread can lock how many objects? One thread can lock how many objects? Only one object. One thread can lock how many objects? Only one object. Inside a thread, how many synchronized methods I can call? I can call example class synchronized method, sample class synchronized method, right? I can call sample class synchronized method, example class synchronized method, A class synchronized method, B class synchronized method. I can call a number of synchronized methods from my thread. Then how many objects this thread has to lock? Multiple objects has to lock. Next, by how many threads an object can be locked at a time? Okay, by how many threads a object can lock at a time? Only one thread. If an object allowed to lock by multiple threads will get concurrent flow, right? So did you understand these two questions? What is the meaning of object lock and class lock? Okay, up to here we have completed in last class. Hope all people got clarity and revision. Now, what is the meaning of object lock and class lock? Tell me. Object lock means object lock. Class lock means class lock. What is core Java faculty? What is advanced Java faculty? A faculty teaches core Java faculty. A faculty teaches advanced Java faculty. Right? So what is the object lock? What is the class lock? Have you heard lock will be given to only object now? Right? First point you need to come to the know. You cannot lock method. You can lock only object. You can lock only object. Right? You can lock only object. Then already we understand when you call non-static method, when you call non-static method, current object of this method will be locked. For example, I call a1.add. Add method a1 object will be locked. Then what the meaning of class lock? Can you lock the class? Come on. Can you lock the class? I have class called addition. Open bracket, closure bracket. Inside I am creating int x equal to 10, int y equal to 20. Okay now? void adder. Okay, two parameters. Some logic is there inside. Blah blah logic. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of object lock? When you declare this add method as synchronized. Okay. Now the current object of this add method is locked. Okay, I call like this. A1 dot add of 10 comma 20, I call like this. Then what happened? Tell me. Add method is called by currently running thread, either main thread or custom thread. Then this object is locked. Yes or no? And not available for other threads. Then what is the meaning of class lock? Is my question understood? By this time already you should get an idea. Object lock means this object is locked. What the meaning of class lock? Class lock means this class locked. Go back to your JVM architecture chapter. In JVM architecture, you have learned a class is loaded into JVM and stored by using java.lang.class instance. Java.lang.class instance. If I declare this variables as a static, and this method as a static, then tell me these variables and method belongs to whom? Class na? If you call this a static method, can you call static method by using object or class name? Class name, right? Addition dot add of 10 comma 20. If you write addition dot add of 10 comma 20, then what happened? Tell me. You are calling a synchronized method by using addition class. This addition class internally represented by Java lambda class instance. That means this addition class instance is locked. If another thread is trying to access this static method, addition dot add of bypassing 50, 60, is it executed or not executed? Come on. Is it executed or not executed? Not executed. It has to wait for this java.lang.class instance is unlocked. Hope you understand. What is the meaning of class lock? Java.lang.class instance of a particular class locking a class. Java.lang.class instance is called class locking. What is the difference in declaring static and a non-static method as synchronized? If we declare static method as a synchronized, the current method's class instance is locked. Static variables are accessed by multiple threads sequentially, and data inconsistent modifications will not. If you declare non-static method as a synchronized, then the current object of this non-static method is locked. Non-static variables are modified sequentially from multiple threads. Okay, na? Is it clear my point? Let me show you that program. Already you know that program. Addition program already we developed now. Look at the class addition. Declare xy as static. I'm not declaring the static method as a synchronized. Then addition dot x equal to x, addition dot y equal to y. Thread dot sleep. Addition plus x, addition dot y. And next, thread 1, thread 2. Thread 1, thread 2, no constructor, nothing, because we are calling methods by using class name. Then main method. Create a thread dot start, create thread dot start. Static variables are modified sequentially or concurrently. Concurrently, and data modification inconsistent way will get wrong results. Check it. 110, 110. Okay, right. Now I am declaring this method as synchronized. Synchronized. Look at, they're going to declare synchronized thread 0, 110, thread 1, 150. Please verify this program there in your material or not. Today class discussion is static class locking, static synchronization. Check once, same program. This diagram must be there. This is class lock. And this is object lock. Shall I go to next topic? Now tell me, in last class I told you, I have a method which has 100 lines of the code and almost taking 5 minutes to execute, let's say. A method I have almost 5 minutes to execute. If I declare this method as a synchronized, is it a good programming? If I declare method as a synchronized, is it a good programming or bad programming? It is a bad program. Why? It is a bad programming. Why? Because for 5 minutes the object is not available for other things. Performance issue taking more time. Then what the solution? What the solution? Wherever your object data is planning to modify, there you apply synchronized block. Now, can you please tell me what is your idea about synchronized block? Synchronized, inside method you write synchronized, parenthesis, you must pass argument and you write logic here. So on synchronized block, any program is not required, just idea is sufficient, okay? Right, synchronized block. Here, in the place of argument, what you write? Object reference, I should write. I should write object reference. Object reference can be current object reference with this, or argument object parameter name A, or you want to log class instance, then you should write class name dot class. Class name dot class. Okay. So this is the syntax you need to remember in future, either in Core Java, Advanced Java, or Spring Boot somewhere if you have seen, or in the some predefined classes you have seen, or if you have seen in what you call projects, you can remember it. Okay. Okay, tell me, how many ways we can make sure the data corruption, how many ways we can stop data corruption, and which option is best option, try to think. Number one, synchronized method. Number two, synchronized block. Synchronized block. And number three, local variables. Local referenced variables. Okay. Yeah. Local variables. Maybe reference or primitive order. If I declare synchronized method, block is the sequential flow. If I use synchronized block also, block is the sequential flow. Now, local variables, if you choose, there is a no lock, right? Why? Each thread has its own copy of local variables and other threads cannot access. Now, let me understand small diagram. This is a with a class level static, non-static variable. Okay, whether static variable or non-static variable referencing this object. Okay, now this object using static variable or using non-static variable, two threads are accessing this object, right? If we create object by using static, non-static variable or by parameter, okay? Static, non-static variable or parameter. Static, non-static variable or parameter. We can share object and we can access the object. Then here what we require, help me. Here what we need to apply to stop execution, either Synchronized method or synchronized block? Synchronized method or synchronized block? Now, if I create object by using local referenced variable inside a run method, this is a thread, run method, this is thread, another run method. Inside run method, if you create local object, then what happens? Here local variable created, here local variable created. This local variable by assigning new keyword created thread object, I mean normal class object, then it is pointing to it. Okay, now the next you are then when the same logic loaded in another thread, here also local variable provided another copy. Again, new keyword executed, another new object is created, and now pointing. Are you catching my point? What is the difference between first diagram, second diagram? First diagram, you have created object at class level common to all methods, static, non-static variable. Using static, non-static, when first thread, second thread, we can access same object. Or we created object inside one method and pass that object as an argument to first thread, second thread, and so both parameters accessing same object. If you want to stop synchronization, if you want to stop concurrent modification, you have to go for synchronized method or synchronized block. If a first thread execution is passed, if a first thread execution passed, second thread don't have chance to execute, it has to wait. If you choose the local variable, then this thread executing concurrently, this thread executing concurrently, this thread accessing this object. Okay, whenever this thread execution passed, then it's going to this thread, this object, this thread is accessing its own local object. Then any data modification, data corruption you are getting? No. Okay, na? So program execution sequential or concurrent? Concurrent. So tell me, if you want to avoid inconsistent modification and you wanted to go for fast execution, concurrent flow, first priority always we will give to what? Local variables. Second priority to synchronized block, and the last priority to synchronized methods. Tell me in website development, which approach we must follow? Websites. I am developing websites. In websites, which approach you have to follow? Synchronized method or synchronized block? Synchronized local variables. Synchronized method or synchronized block or local variables. In websites development, you must avoid synchronized method and synchronized block. Always choose what? Local variables. Okay, na? Right, everyone completed, understand? So more details about this website development synchronization, Nataraja sir will teach you in advance hour. Okay, there you will understand more. Okay, I have given you ideas. If I talk more, it's my time waste, and anyway, sir will spend the time for you to explain more advanced related points. Okay, so I given clarity on synchronization. So let me ask next questions. Tell me. What is the difference in declaring static method? I will complete it. If you declare method as a synchronized, how many is all completed? If you declare non-static method synchronized, which object is logged? Either current object or argument object. If you declare a non-static method as synchronized, which object is logged? Current object or argument object? Are you able to hear me? Are you able to hear me? Which object is locked? Current object is locked. How can we lock argument object of a method? How can we lock? How can we lock an argument object of a method? Excellent. Using synchronized method, we cannot lock argument object. We can lock only by using synchronized block. How can we lock a current object or current class partly in a method? How can we lock current object or current class partly in a method? Again, by using synchronized block. What is the syntax of synchronized block for locking current class? You have to pass class name dot class, current object this keyword, and argument object parameter name. Can we define multiple synchronized blocks in a method? Yes. Can we nest synchronized blocks? Can we nest? Can we nest a synchronized block? Means, can I write a synchronized block in synchronized block? Yes. I want to execute 10 lines of the code by locking two objects. Then how can I write synchronized block first object, inside synchronized block second synchronized block second object. When should we develop multiple synchronized block instead of declaring complete method as synchronized? If you have only few lines of the code to execute, only for few lines of the code you want to lock the object, then use synchronized block. Next, you want to lock unlock object alternatively few lines of the code, then use synchronized block. If you want for full method execution lock the object, then only you should go for synchronized method. What are the differences between synchronized method and synchronized block? A method declared with the keyword synchronized is called synchronized method. A local block declared with the synchronized keyword is called synchronized block. Using synchronized method, we can lock only current object. Using synchronized block, I can lock current object, argument object also. Synchronized method wise, in synchronized method, object is locked for full method execution. In synchronized block, method is executed. Object is locked only for few lines. Synchronized method execution slow, synchronized block execution fast. What are the advantages of synchronized block over synchronized method? We can lock, unlock object as and when we need. And synchronized block execution is fast over synchronized method. Inside a method, we are modifying both static and non-static variables. Inside a method, we are modifying both static and non-static variables. Then what type of method? What type this method must declare? As what type? As what type? As what type this method must declare? Static or non-static? Inside a method, we are modifying both static and non-static method. As what type we must declare this method? Static or non-static? Non-static method. Then what we must do if you want to execute this method sequentially from multiple threads to modify static, non-static in sequentially. Okay, declare synchronize current object is locked. Then inside use a synchronized block with a dot class syntax, class will be locked. Problem solved. Okay, next. If threads are using different objects, will a synchronized method execution be concurrent or sequential flow? If threads are executed, different object, threads are using different object. Will a synchronized method execution be concurrent or sequential flow? It is concurrent flow because objects are different. When will be synchronization concept has effect? Only when two threads are using same object. Then next tell me, what is the meaning of thread safe and non-thread safe object? What is the meaning of thread safe and non-thread safe objects? Tell me, what the meaning of thread safe object? What the meaning of thread safe object? An object which is not available for multiple threads for modifying its data concurrently, then we call it as thread safe object. Okay. And next, what is a non-thread safe object? An object that is available for multiple threads to modify object data concurrently, then we call it as non-thread safe object. By default, every class and every class object are dash type. By default, every class and every class object is thread safe or non-thread safe? Non-thread safe. Okay, then how can we develop a thread safe class and a thread safe object? By declaring its methods as synchronized. By declaring its methods as synchronized or by using synchronized blocks. Create a bank account object to solve a data corruption problem. What can we do? Simply we declare deposit and withdraw methods, current balance method as synchronized. That's all. Hope all people understand. Then can you try to think and develop train object in multi-threaded environment to issue tickets? I want issue tickets. I want reserve tickets. You know, right? Online payment, online ticket reservation system is there. In online reservation system, two passengers are accessing same seat for reservation. Should we allow same seat reservation to two passengers at a time? No. First passenger accessing the seat via thread 1. Second passenger accessing the same seat via thread 2. If we allow both threads to execute concurrently on that object, what happens? Data corruption will come. The same seat will be allotted to both the passengers. Now, I want you to develop this program. Create a train object in multi-threaded environment to issue tickets. Can you try this? If already ticket is already the seat is issued to one passenger, you must inform this ticket is already booked. Okay, try to develop the program with SOP and statements. Please try to show the problem. Without synchronization, same ticket should assign to two passengers. By applying synchronization keyword, ticket should be assigned to only one passenger. Other passenger should get error message. Next, now there is an important point called what is difference between volatile and synchronized keywords. Okay, volatile and synchronized keyword. Synchronized keyword is allowed to method to execute its logic sequentially. Volatile modifier is allowed to apply to variable. It's not allowed to apply to class. It's not allowed to apply to method. Synchronized keyword not allowed to variables. Volatile keyword is not allowed to methods. Volatile keyword allowed to variables. Okay, right. Volatile keyword will inform to the compiler and JVM. The modifications done on static, non-static variables must be visible to other threads. And try to understand. I am writing a class called A. Inside this class, I am declaring one static variable, static int some A equal to say variable. And next I am declaring int x equal x semicolon. I declare two variables. Now the two variables I am accessing via method M1 method. Okay, M1 method. I am modifying this A equal to 10, A equal to 10, A equal to 10, and X equal to 20, something I have written. Then now I am taking another method called M2 method below. Inside this method, I am displaying the values. System.out.println. System.out.println. And now here I am going to write A, and here I am going to write X. System.out.println X. Listen carefully. This is the theory concept. Practically, programmatically cannot be shown. Again repeating, programmatically cannot be shown. This is just a theory. If interviewer asks a question, tell something about volatile keyword, you must talk these statements. Okay, now then try to answer. Here, M1 method executed in which thread? In a T1 thread, let's say. In a T1 thread. M2 thread, M2 method executed on which thread? T2 thread. Methods are executed by threads, T1 thread and T2 thread. T1 thread is modifying the objects. Okay. Whenever you see method, you have to fill thread. T1 thread modifying X and A and X variables. Okay. A and X variables. Now M2 method is reading the values of A and X. Now listen carefully. Is there any guarantee that this M1 method means thread 1 modified A and B, A and X values are visible to other thread? Okay. There is a chance one thread modifications are not visible to other threads. One thread modifications are not visible to other threads. If you want to guarantee one thread modification visible to another thread, you should declare this variable as volatile. Okay, if you declare variable as a volatile, then what happened? One thread modified values are compulsory visible to other threads. Compiler and JVM will take care of making one thread modification visible to another thread. According to theory, there are two types of memory, primary and local memory. This is our object. Okay, either class object or what you call a instance, whatever. A variable and X variable memory available in the object. Now there is a theory concept background. Now when thread is accessing this object, there is a chance this object can be taken local to this thread. There is a chance that thread can be taken local to this. A variable modification done here, B variable modification, sorry, X variable modification done here. Okay, na? Right. Then in the main memory, this is a main memory. In the main memory modification done, local memory modification done. In the local memory, it's modification done. Then other thread will access main memory variables. In main memory, modifications are not visible. In main memory, modifications are not visible. Hence, the second thread will not get the first thread modification. If you want to guarantee the thread with the one thread modifications must be available at main memory, you declare these variables as synchronized. If you declare variables as a synchronized, local copy will not be declare the variables as a volatile. If you declare variables as a volatile, local copy will not be created. The modifications will be done in the main memory and the values are available to second thread. Sir, in my entire 16 years of career, I never ever use volatile keyword in our regular projects. Okay, in regular projects, we never see volatile keyword usage. If at all in projects, if any senior manager or somebody is asking to use volatile, you just apply volatile keyword, JVM will take care of all this main memory modification. Practically, I cannot show you. There is no program to show you practically, just theoretically you remember. And go to Google and search volatile keyword, you'll find more points. Okay, na? So if you want to guarantee one thread modifications on a variable, one thread modified values of variable visible to other thread, you should declare it as volatile. Synchronized keyword guarantee sequential flow of execution. Volatile guarantee one thread modification visible to other thread. Hope all you people understand synchronization concepts. So whatever possible questions can be asked in the written test exam, all questions I have covered completely. Okay, now all questions I have covered completely. All points are there in your material also, please refer. Any doubts in synchronization? Okay. Have you started string and chapter videos? Have you started watching string and chapter videos? Yes or no? Have you completed string literal related point? Have you completed string literal related points? Here you have a question. Why string builder class is given when we have string buffer? This question is related to synchronization. Can you please revise once again the topic? Because a string buffer class is given as synchronized in a single thread model application, because of locking unlocking, it is taking a lot of time to execute. Hence string builder class is given as a non-synchronized class. So in multi-threaded application, to store objects and reading characters at class level common to all methods, you must use string buffer. If you want to perform method local operation to storing reading characters local to one object, you must use string builder, right? Then what the difference between thread safe and non-thread safe object? How can we create custom thread object, custom thread safe object in two ways? Create class as a immutable. Number two, declare all its methods as synchronized. Is a string of thread safe? Yes, because of immutable. What the different ways to create thread safe object? Two ways, immutable and synchronized. Okay. So I'm expecting once again all the people to watch this video, and you will understand once again by applying all the synchronization concept. Have you completed up to string constant pooled area? All the people, these 71 questions mean 3 or 4 videos would be there. Have you completed? In collection chapter, I'm going to use all these topics. If you have not completed these videos, please start work on them. In collection chapter, I'm going to use all these things. Have you started string class? String class and its constructors. What is string class and what the different constructors, what the use of them? Completed this section also? Again, in a collection chapter, I will use string handling chapter very heavily. All methods of the string class I will use. Immutability behavior, all thread class methods, everything I'm going to use. Everything I will use. If you have not yet started watching it, please complete it. Please complete string handling chapter. I'm not going to teach this string handling chapter because all videos are already prepared. All these points, all these questions, videos are prepared. There is no change from one batch to another batch.
Meeting is being recorded.
Are you developing or just ignoring her? Next to string handling, you should also complete IO string chapter. IO string chapter at end of the collection I will use to develop project. Okay, so while learning, you should also complete IO streams. Then we can complete collections with all chapters combining. At last, I will develop project by using collections framework, IO streams, string handling, exception handling, multi-threading, all chapters. From first chapter to last chapter, everything I will use. Okay, na? Okay. So today also I'm stopping session here. Okay, I came to work site, and here now the people have started working. A lot of sounds will come, and with masks cannot continue more than this. Okay. So tomorrow we will continue remaining things, and meanwhile you continue with the string handling, remaining videos completed. Okay. This Sunday I will take. This Sunday I will take class for you. Class be there. Please get ready. Okay, now this Sunday minimum 2 hours class will be there. What time will be there, I too don't know. Okay, I will tell the time you must come. Got clarity? What time I will take class, I also don't know. I will tell you the time you should come. Did I cover garbage collection in your batch? Garbage collection, no, right? Yeah. This Sunday we will plan garbage collection. Okay, na? Sunday we will plan garbage collection to complete. Okay. So go on. Thank you. That's all for today class.